Okay, player of the week. Ready?
Okay.
Are you?
I mean, there's the obvious, but I chose him last week.
I forget it. Oh. Ooh, I touched the mic, sorry. Okay, we'll just see who comes out of your mouth.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Player of the week. 1, 2, 3. And as always, this episode is presented by Legends Attic. We just had the best experience with them at Fanatics Fest. And even though we weren't able to get all the interviews we wanted, they have so many that they've been pushing out on their page. So if you're not already following them, make sure to follow them on Instagram. And we'll be putting out our own stuff.
Yeah, and then we're gonna link. We'll post things on Instagram, link it to our YouTube. We're gonna put the full ones on there. A lot of really cool stuff to follow along with.
So if you're not following our YouTube page, make sure to go on there, click follow on Spotify and Apple. That is the best way you can help us keep growing. And we appreciate you guys so much and hope we see you at Fanatics Fest 2026.
I'm so excited.
And now to the episode. We're so in sync. I just want somebody to talk Dodgers to me.
I bet you your mom had a snake story that she wasn't going to tell me.
Yeah, because she wants us to go on another hike tomorrow.
Which it was so beautiful.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're just walking and there's just a baby deer hanging.
Turtles, lots of different animals, pretty river, gazebo.
Yeah, it's really beautiful here.
People hate on New Jersey, but it's pretty, right? It is the Garden State.
It's beautiful. I mean, New York is such a vibe, and like the city is fast, and it's this, and I totally get like the beauty of that. This is like, I can see why people don't really like going there once they have this. It's really peaceful.
Yeah.
But I felt that way when Marcel and I were traveling so much, and we were going through like Connecticut, Pennsylvania. We were all on like the back end of it, and I was just like, man, if I was to be in the East Coast, I would not be around a major city. I would be in the outskirts because the trees and like...
It's very, very green. A lot of people and families who work in the city will live right in like the northern New Jersey area because it is an easy commute into the city, but it gives you a whole nother world.
I know.
So I'm so happy to be here at my mom's house in New Jersey. This is amazing.
I know. It's like a hometown visit.
I know. I think this is something I've been thinking of and hoping would happen since I started this. So to be here is pretty cool, and to have you guys here is even better.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad that it worked out the way it did because I feel like we needed this. We needed the change of pace. And this is part of it, family and everything we talk about when it comes to what baseball is to us. And it's so fun to just see your history of your family perfectly scattered around your mom's house. It's just so homey.
Does it give you another sense of me?
Yes.
And I bet even more tonight after you meet everybody.
Totally. And I was like, and that's what it's like most excited to meet your family is, you know, get to know them, but to really get to know you more too. I mean, we really haven't known each other that long, and it just feels so natural.
But it doesn't feel like that. I feel like I've known you for so long. And then when we think about it, we only met in October of last year. And what we've done together since then is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for the day that I get to do this with you and your family, you know, and go through things. And, you know, we're reading my old diary and you're finding pictures of me around. And
well, okay, because it's like, you know, I grew up in the same house and, you know, you have all these accumulations of life, you know, and sometimes you think about that, like the whole decluttering energy where you're just like, but it's so cute seeing how your mom just has things perfectly placed of memories without, it's like not cluttered. It's been really fun.
She's so artsy and creative and makes everything beautiful. I always talk about how she decorates for Christmas and not an inch of the house is not covered, but not in like an overwhelming way and like a, oh wow, look over here. You don't even notice this little trinket over here and things like that. So I hope to take that into, you know, my homes, and I try to.
she was telling me last night on like how all of this during the winter, the trees go bald, but then it's just snow and you could see the river. And like even last night, guys, we're like out on the patio and there's just like fireflies galore. And I'm just, the first time I ever saw a firefly was in Argentina. And I'm like, I just had to go to New Jersey.
Adam really enjoyed the fireflies, right?
Big firefly fan. Big firefly fan.
Did you guys try and catch them when you were growing up and like go like this?
No, what part of the first time I ever saw them was in Argentina? Like they're not in California. Okay. Are they?
Did you do that?
Yeah. Did it
Where?
in jars.
Oh, because you weren't from
Yeah,
California.
we put them in jars too.
Can I try tonight?
Yeah, we can. Well, anyway, welcome back to Talk Dodgers to Me. I'm Melissa Meyer.
And I'm Jacqueline Ruiz.
And we are here in New Jersey recording our first episode here.
Yeah, your hometown episode. Mm-hmm. It's been a long time. Well, not a long. I say that as if we've talked about it for years, but this was something that was one of the first things you kind of, when you were telling me your dreams and your goals and what you wanted, and this was a bucket list.
Mm-hmm. This isn't the house I grew up in, but it was when my mom sold our house that we grew up in, and I was not happy about it.
Heard that story last night.
When she took us here, this town is about 20 minutes from where I grew up in northern New Jersey. It was so beautiful, this really mountainous area that I've loved living here, and my mom has lived here for over a decade.
Yeah.
So
it's beautiful and peaceful.
it is very quiet, birds chirping. It always is that for me. Like I love coming here. It's just relaxing. Mm-hmm. But we've had quite a trip already.
And so much is happening back in LA. Mm-hmm. And we feel so far away from our boys.
We really do. And it's crazy. You hear about how hard it is to watch West Coast baseball when you're on the East Coast. And we're really feeling it because we watch every single game, whether we're there, whether we're watching it on TV. Sometimes I go home and watch the game after I've been there live because I like listening to the broadcast.
Uh-huh.
So
it's hard. It's kind of brought me back to when I was in Texas. And like I used to say, you know, and I almost didn't understand it too, because it's like the Dodgers are such a passion and I love them so much. It's like, just because I'm in a different state, what do you mean that you fell off? And it didn't fall off, but you know, when you're busy working every single day and you're building stuff and all this, and it's like, it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's hard to stay connected. And I'm feeling that.
especially when the games aren't on until 10 p.m.
Uh-huh. And then we're just surrounded by Yankee and Mets fans everywhere that have just even more so missed them.
And we just did a little highlight watching just to get ourselves pumped to record. And we're, you know, getting all pumped up, watching the benches clear and Shohei pitching and Kershaw's
grand
outing
slams.
and Max's grand slam. So we have so much to get into, but why don't we take it back to flying into New York and our experience at Fanatics Fest?
Okay. Yeah. We had a late flight Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm. We took a red eye Wednesday night, Adam, Jacqueline, and I, into New York and started our little New York City experience together.
Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy because someone was like, did you feel jet lag? And honestly, I mean, no matter what, you're going to be exhausted from the days, but I think that the red eye and like sleeping and then landing at 5 a.m. and then just kind of getting it going, like it was kind of effortless on that end.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys sleep on the plane?
Barely.
Did you?
I did.
I know. I looked over and Adam was like,
But we also were just so excited for it that I don't think the tiredness hit us for a bit.
Jacqueline texted me.
What did she say? On the plane?
Yeah. She's like, hey, if you want to send me a beer, I'm in this seat. And I said, I don't.
well, you know, I was just, in case he felt, you know, generous and wanted to send me to 18F, a nice cold beer to help me sleep. I thought that would have been nice.
Well, I tried to get up and give you my melatonin gummies because I knew it would help, but you were out. You were sleeping.
Yeah, I did. I was able to doze off, which I do not sleep well on planes. I just don't.
I had to climb over the two people next to me because I had the window seat. And when you got to go to the bathroom, like, what else do you do when you're on a red eye and everyone's sleeping and it's pitch dark?
Just a little. Surprised that wasn't what came to mind.
But the little kid was like At one point, sleeping on my shoulder.
That's so
and he had his
cute.
legs all sprawled out on me.
Yeah. So anyway, we land in New York, and the rest of the team is like trickling in.
We're with the whole Legends Attic team. And as everybody knows, we're sponsored by Legends Attic. So this was a really fun experience just to even get to know them all more and be doing this all together. We've had a group chat. We all talk in. We've talked in the entire trip and just communicating and updating each other on what's going on. So that was really cool.
It was. I mean, we've talked about it before on how we kind of want to do an episode with them because we just feel like we talk about them so much, and there's so many people on their team to highlight, and they're just the hardest working kids, and everyone is just such a cool mesh of focus, and I think we're going to have to get into that.
I know. And with great leadership in Oral and Eddie.
They really, I mean, it's amazing. Some of these kids are not even 21, and their work ethic and their...
But they seem like wise beyond their years, just in their maturity and drive.
Yeah.
But also because with good leadership, you want to do a good job and you want to work hard.
Yeah.
And that really shows. And we got to really see that this trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we flew in, we got to our hotel, and
It was setup day for Fanatics Fest at that point.
Yes.
Which was pretty fun because...
But our room wasn't ready. Jacqueline and I were sharing a room, so we all had to go to Adam's room and take a little nap.
Oh my gosh.
Like a 1 hour nap.
I know. And like, we're trying not to disrupt Parker's bed because it's
yeah.
like, you know, we really wanted to just crawl right in.
I know. And it was freezing, remember? We were shivering. We were like,
you ain't got a
I
towel.
had a towel as a blanket.
Because she looks at me, she's like, are you sure I can't get under the blankets? I'm like, no.
I know. It wouldn't have been nice.
Yeah.
Everyone wants like a fresh, clean bed when they get to a hotel. I bet Parker wouldn't have minded, but anyway.
Yeah, respect. No, then everyone, you know, Eddie was like, hey, I need all hands on deck. And so, you know, we just walked down the street for honestly the first couple days. It's the walk was this and down.
We're staying in like the Times Square area, and Fanatics Fest was hosted at the Javits Center, and we were about 4 blocks away. So very close, really easy for us to get to and from every day. So we went and checked in with everybody and just helped as much as we could with setup, and we had fun kind of being Adam for a moment as he was helping them. We were recording and with the stabilizer and doing the camera work.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It's hard.
I know. I don't know how you were holding that thing for 3 days straight. How are you feeling?
Feel good.
You should have just done the whole Otani. Again, I'm feeling.
Let's try that again.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Still feel good.
You don't want to elaborate at all, or you're waiting till we really get into Fanatics Fest?
He hasn't warmed up yet. He's playing coy.
Okay.
He always makes us work for it, you know?
I know, he really does.
That's all right. But genuinely, my forearms were on fire. And then he taught me how it's like stable. So if it stays green and then like, oh man, mine was going to the orange so much.
Put those hands down. We don't want another Shohei Ohtani moment.
What was that?
Remember, he did some hand gesture and everyone was, the video was going viral because of what it looked like. Yeah, we're not doing that.
That's so funny. That was fun though.
But that night, you know, a lot of the team went out, but we really wanted to be just on our A game for day one. And
well, we didn't know. I mean, we're going to be in a building where, you know, Derek Jeter and this and that. And we all knew going in we weren't going to be able to sit down and have much time. So we really wanted to, if we had that moment, have a question that meant something. And
so we went, you know, we sat in our hotel room and just thought of each person that was going to be there, all the big athletes, and what we would ask them if we got a chance to talk to them, just so we would be prepared. And went to bed early, woke up, and we're really excited to even like, we planned to wear Jacqueline's brand Soul Boutique sequin pieces throughout the weekend because one, they just make us feel fabulous. And we're representing our Dodgers.
yeah, we walked in and, you know, they're already setting things up, but like, obviously I know it's in New York, but I was taken back that there wasn't a mixture of so many teams, you know, because Fanatics they have the licensing for everything and all the things. Heavy New York stuff. So instantly I'm like, oh, we're going to be known as the Dodger girls so quick.
And we were.
We were.
Yeah, very much outnumbered by Yankee and Mets fans. so many of those thick New York accents.
Oh yeah, so many. But it was fun. I say there's some fire behind all of the like joking around, and I know people really deep down. I mean, I get it, Yankee fans and Mets fans and Dodger fans, like you're passionate about it, but there's a respect, and you can tell there's a respect. You want to banter and have a good time, but in every conversation, there's a moment of like it goes down, and you kind of are like, I know, but I can respect. And it's like the same on both ends, which made it fun.
I would say 95% of our conversations with opposing team fans were so respectful. There was just like a little hint of, maybe my aggression coming out a little bit.
Probably a little hangry. And I was like, I think it's time to go get lunch.
When Yankee fans complain about the Dodgers spending money,
such an
to
eye
me,
roll.
that's, yeah.
Well,
you have no right to be saying that.
Yeah, like if anyone,
and if that's your go-to,
you guys should resonate with it more than anyone, because you've had to probably hear that for years.
Yeah, but also if that's your go-to, like that's a bit of baseball ignorance to me, because you don't know what else to say. So that's where I like to challenge and get in a little and maybe make Jacqueline a little uncomfortable.
No, not uncomfortable, but just like, yeah, no, not uncomfortable.
It fires me up.
Yeah, I know.
I like to win the battle.
Yeah, and we did.
Like
we have a world championship ring.
Like Will Smith won that battle. There was such a good at-bat with Will Smith. I don't even remember what game it was. We're trying to catch up and get highlights and lean into like certain plays we really like. But there was a pitcher-batter battle with Will Smith. I think it was 12. He kept hitting foul ball after foul ball, and then he won the battle because he hit a homer. But I love that kind of stuff.
I mean, the beginning of our trip, really the heaviness of we're like, what is going on back in LA? There's like these Padres, like what is going on? How do we feel about the clearing of the
I've
benches?
never seen a series with that many hit by pitches. And obviously we have this rivalry. People think it is, people think it isn't, with the Padres. It's getting dirty. I think we left off, we had watched game 1, and then it just kept going. They kept hitting us, we kept hitting them.
Well, it started off like our last episode because they had hit Andy, and then he came back, and
the coach was like, "Who the F do you think you are?"
Yeah.
And Manny's mouthing off and saying, if we're going to hit someone, it's not going to be you. It's basically going to be one of the big 3. And they hit Shohei twice, and that is just a no-no. I loved seeing Kersh.
Ooh, that was the best.
He was about
One
to
leg
come
out.
running out, and Shohei held him back.
What a class act Shohei is. I'm sorry, but like that, and I wonder if pitching's bringing it back a little. This kind of fire, this confidence. I mean, when he gets hit and he looks back at his players, and he just says, "Stay right there, don't even worry about it." Like, wow. And then to see that it's Kersh with one leg out, like,
I think like the chemistry of this team and how close they are, and knowing that everyone has each other's backs is one, bringing that out, and Shohei as well. But when that happened, we had just accidentally hit Tatis. That was not on purpose. That was that pitcher's debut. And he did not mean to. You could see him as soon as it happened. He's like,
oh man.
Yeah. And that's when, it wasn't even the players though, it was our coaches. Dave kind of bumping the Padres coach, and then them going at it and mouthing off to each other and saying, "We'll talk after the game." And they're all on the field, and 10, 15 minutes of this and that and going back and forth. Teo trying to calm everyone down. Kike, the Hernandez brothers, stepping up.
I know, and Tatis said something to Mookie, and I don't really know exactly what it was, but his face was like, what?
I know, guys. We like rewound that video, and we're watching like each individual player to see how they were reacting. And there was a moment between Tatis and Mookie, and I wonder if there's another angle so we could see what Tatis said to Mookie, but Mookie was like, huh?
I don't know if it was Dodger Nation. I know somebody had already posted about it. But like I said, we've been so busy going so many places that if you don't dive into it right then and there, it's like you just keep going, and I feel like I just missed so many games.
I know, but so we had the whole benches clearing incident. Everyone goes back to their seats. The game starts again, And then they hit Shohei. Like, come on.
Yeah,
We just had that whole thing and you're going to drag it on again?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking there's going to be a trolling moment from Shohei in that next Padres series because we saw how classy his trolling was the last time he got upset by another team. And
Yeah.
this is like times 10, so.
You know, it's all fun, and I've been hearing a lot of people of like just the history of like what this kind of is when it comes to baseball and what's acceptable and what's absolutely not acceptable. And as much as it can put blame on a little bit of both, like Shohei wasn't the first one that they went high. The second time they hit Padres, they went high. And like, it's just dirty. As much as it's a little bit of both, I lost a lot of respect for Schultz, the coach. Schills.
Schmidt? Mike Schmidt.
Mike Schilt.
Schilt.
How do you spell that? Can we please have a-
Shilt.
SCHI.
Shitty.
Well, Kirsch
Country of origin,
adds a Y
please.
to everyone's name, and he's like Shilty or something.
SHILDT.
Wow.
Okay. Did you
Can I get
notice?
5 on? No, just kidding. Is that what? Yeah.
Do you notice how Kirsch adds a Y to everyone's name?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean? Like when he's writing?
Like he gives them all a nickname, but he adds a Y, like Barnesy.
Okay. What else?
Shilty. I swear. I'll find the video where he's like Doc and Shilty. I'm like, he doesn't deserve a nickname from you,
Docky
Kershaw.
and Shilty?
But I loved seeing Kirsch get like protective of that
Yeah.
Shohei moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Shohei's like, I'm good. I'm going to walk over, give them a little look, and scare them and have them fear what's coming in August.
I just love seeing him go over to the benches though, because he's like, his sign of like, I'm coming in peace was his hands behind his back. You know? And it's just like so like, but what is he saying? And
I know.
does no one like, does he speak English more than we think?
Definitely.
Because there wasn't an interpreter there, you know?
And he was talking to the Padres dugout.
That's what I mean. I want to chit chat with him.
Well, back to Kirsch for a little bit.
Okay.
Our boy is 8 strikeouts away from 3,000.
Wow.
That's incredible. I love
know.
hearing how Freddie reminds him every time and how our team is just so excited for him. And if you're Kirsch and just how our team works, you can't focus on that. He's like, it'll come.
Mm-hmm.
A pitcher is meant to strike people out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it is taking longer than expected, but my teammates keep reminding me.
I mean, he's 8 pitches away.
He could be. No, he can't be 8 pitches away. He's 8 strikeouts
I
away.
mean, 8 strikeouts away.
Yeah.
It's not like, I don't think he's taking that long. He just came back.
I know.
I don't know. I think he's amazing.
He's actually getting there faster than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to see that happen. I hope he
Yeah.
does it at home.
I hope so too. I hope we're there.
Yeah, we have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else happened?
Let's see.
Should we go back to Fanatics Fest and tell them about it?
Sure.
Okay.
Because that was kind of, yeah.
So as we mentioned, we were kind of brushing up on questions we would want to ask these major athletes. And going into this, I think we thought we'd be able to maybe interview them and work our way to it, but there really was no way. If you didn't have a pass to the green room, you really didn't have access to any of these athletes. So we really had to kind of pivot and adjust our plan for the 3 days we were there. And we did.
Yeah,
And
we did. Because we were also there representing the big team as well, you know, and all the things. So it's like, not only are we trying to like have a great question for them, we're like trying to make sure we capitalize on the whole reason why we're there. And it's like, yeah, so it's like, if we're not going to even be able to like get in the vicinity, you know, it's like, how can we bring value to the whole thing? So we did. We had to pivot.
On day one, it was really fun. We walked around with our mini mics and interviewed fans and people there. We talked to a guy dressed as Nestor Cortes, who looked exactly like him.
Exactly.
And he's in the full Yankee outfit.
Full pinstripe, head to toe. I mean, the mustache, the nose, like everything, his features,
and he
everything.
stayed in character.
you go up and you go, "Hey, Nestor."
That was really fun. And we took him to the Freddie Grand Slam ball.
We were right there. And so we kind of gave a little interview.
It was really perfect.
Which those
one.
interviews will be available on our YouTube soon.
Yeah, we'll
so
be putting them out.
But it was so funny because right where we were, the Freddie Freeman Grand Slam ball was right around the corner. And then Dave, who did the beautiful piece of Freddie holding it, got it signed. He's there doing live paintings.
He's so incredible. And, you know, we've wanted to have him on the podcast. He keeps saying no, he doesn't want to do it, but hopefully we can talk him into it eventually because he is so talented. And really, to bring his pieces to New York, to see them everywhere, to watch people just like be in awe over them, the detail, and to have people watch and just stand there as he's doing the live painting was really cool. Yeah. And we had a lot of fun talking about him and his art.
Yeah. We've got him to do a couple little questions. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was really, really funny because he watched us interview the fake Nestor, and afterwards he texted us and was like, "Hey girls, I just want to let you know in case, like, before you post anything about that wasn't really Nestor."
And they're like, he's like, I think he was like, you know, messing with you guys. And so we like, so sweet, like, thanks for having our back. But
I know.
We knew.
We really
that was
didn't. So funny.
Then we're cracking up.
We
and it's like, did you actually think we thought Nestor was just walking around full uniform in New York?
In his old team's uniform? He doesn't even play for them anymore.
I know.
But the fake Nestor was such a good sport because, yes, we were grilling him with questions.
Yeah.
And he really played it cool.
Yeah.
I loved that he stayed in character. We took him out of character for a moment, but then
you brought him back.
I did.
I know. He was like, I mean, I threw a strike. It just so happened to be the perfect one for Freddie.
I know.
I was like, well, I mean, at least you know how to cover first. It was just so fun.
We had a lot of fun talking to Yankee fans, especially because of the World Series. And it was really those little kids, the Pinstripe Twins.
The Pinstripe Twins.
We asked them where they were and how they felt about the Freddie Grand Slam, and they said they cried.
Yeah, which was hard because, you know, with adults, we can kind of, you know, banter back a little. With kids, you can't do that.
No.
And it's like, oh my gosh, but it's like, you know, they're looking at you like, well, where were you? And I'm like, it was the best night of our life.
Jumping up and down crying. I've watched it on repeat 100,000 times.
It was really cute to see their passion, though. They were so witty. I mean, the little kid was like, you know, I just want you to know, like, we very much respect the Yankees. And he looked at me and he's like, yeah, we respect the Dodgers, too.
They were so well-spoken.
Really well-spoken.
They knew what they were talking about. They were asking us who our favorite players were. We were asking them, and they were highlighting Tommy Edman, saying that a lot of Mets because of how well Tommy did in the NLCS. Mm-hmm. You know, that was a standout, and I think a surprise for teams that don't regularly watch the Dodgers. It's not always the big three. Mm-hmm. It's the bottom of our lineup guys, and that was really highlighted in, you know, the playoffs and the World Series last year.
It's how we kind of feel too. When people ask us our favorite players, like, we stop because it's like,
it's too hard.
It's too hard. I mean, duh, Ohtani is such an amazing person to watch, but it's like Freddie and then Will Smith and then Andy Pages and then all of them. Mookie,
Muncy,
Kike, Teo. It doesn't stop.
We love them all.
Yeah, we do. We love them all. And it's fun to love them all.
You
don't always get teams like this. And, you know, we were able to go into the theater and listen to, it was A-Rod and Derek Jeter.
Jorge Posada, Andy Pettitte, the core four, plus CC Sabathia. Spike Lee was on the panel.
Yeah. But, you know, growing up, those players were so pivotal in our life of baseball, even being a girl from the West Coast. And I can see how our team is that and why little kids from the East Coast know the names and, like, you know, can represent that. And that's kind of fun because it doesn't always come along.
Totally. And when I grew up in New Jersey, everyone's talking about the Yankees, and they were a really good team and a really winning team all of those years. So watching the core four up on that panel and just how we talk about them and remember that time, it really did make me see so many parallels to our team and talking about the big three and they're not just these amazingly talented players. They're also really good guys and great role models.
And I think that's what makes me stop so much with my team, is because the reason I knew this Yankee team is because as a kid, I could like look up to them and I was just like, wow, as athletes. And I really do think our boys have that. They are such good role models for our youth. And it's just like for the young athletes or just the young anything. And yeah, that's like the beauty of it.
I loved seeing just like fathers and sons at Fanatics Fest walking around, moms and daughters, the family aspect. I ran into someone I went to high school with her kids, and that was really cool. Just, you know, our podcast is from the fans' perspective, and we're in awe of everything going on around us. We're trying to learn about all the cards and how much they're worth and why they're worth that much, and just kind of take things from this experience. And to see so many fans and their passion just almost like enhance mine again.
Totally. No, totally. And that was one of the pivots that we did. You know, it's like we're walking around and we interview, and then it's like, you know, let's go learn about the cards a little more. Like, let's go talk to people and, you know, sell some trading cards, see what's valuable. Like, it was fun doing that.
Yeah. And our team, our Legends Addict team, had would you say three booths?
Yeah, like 3 different stations. They had the card, and then they had the gallery, which was Dave's art. And then they had the one downstairs, which was the live. He was live. Is it painting or drawing?
Painting, right?
Art. I think it's just making art.
Charcoal painting.
Charcoal painting.
Pastels, pencil.
So what does pastel mean? Because I feel like that's a color that is like Easter.
I know, that's what I think of too.
No, pastel is just isn't it just a form?
Like a style?
No, it's a material.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a crayon.
Little chime in from my mom back there. We're waiting for my mom to say something on the mic.
I need to chime in when I hear something.
So pastel's like it's like a pencil, but it's a different material that he can draw with and stuff.
Okay.
So he was downstairs at like the more museum area where a lot of the autograph signings were, in the theater that had all the panels. So yeah, we subbed in for some of our team when, you know, they were running out to get food or take a break or whatever, and learning from them.
Or just go and enjoy. Like, they went and did some like where they would get bricks signed, and you know, they work so hard that I loved that Eddie always remembered, especially if someone was a fan of someone, to like loop in one of his team members to go and enjoy that and to see that. And that's when you and I would like jump in and be like, yeah, go for it. Like, we'll be here and just chatting. And I mean, we had mics. She was like fading for 2.5. And then Adam came over and handed us these mics. And like, she was like, whoa.
Brought me to life.
It brought us to life. Yeah, it was really
People
cool.
bring me to life.
Yeah.
Talking to people, having great conversation, especially when you're all passionate about the same thing. You know, we talk about baseball and how it's all more than baseball to us. When you're at a stadium and you don't know anybody there, but you're all bonding over this shared passion. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. I mean, we were even down by Dave, and we ran into a father-son who they were wearing full Mets gear. And so we start talking. And at first there's like fun banter going back and forth of like teams and the, you know, and then it's just like, you could tell there's just so much love for the game that it's like all of the walls kind of go down, and then you just really start talking about baseball and the feeling of it and the this, and then like they're complimenting different things the Dodgers did. And it's like all these things, and it's just like, you know, they walked away, and that was what was fun too, because people got to know us, and it's not just 2 girls talking Dodger baseball. It's just like 2 girls loving the sport, and like just a lot of respect for other fans and wanting to know their passion behind it. And it was fun to be able to walk away from people who were like, I'm following your podcast. Like, that's so amazing. Like,
I know. And I think we were joking around saying, we're going to go and convert everyone to be Dodger fans. And it's not, I think we did do that. And there's just a couple of specific people I'm thinking of who may have turned into Dodger fans. But even Mets fans and Yankee fans were telling us how much they love what we're doing and are going to follow along and listen to our podcast. And that's really cool.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool. It was very fulfilling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great.
What about the guy that gave the Freddie painting the finger and we caught him while he was doing it and then we ended up interviewing him?
Honestly, though, I love that too.
I know.
Because he has his kids and his like sons are looking at him and he's like, all right, just do it. Like, and he's just looking at him and just like flipping him the bird so hard. And I was just like, man, this guy's so passionate. And he was actually really fun to talk to.
Yeah, that's a fun interview that we'll share too.
Uh-huh.
Or even the Padres guy that was in the booth across from us and he was wearing his hat. And that's in the height of our whole battle with them that week.
We met him
Oh, yes, in the hotel lobby.
And he was wearing a San Diego. And we're like, oh, because that was in the thick.
Because it's like, Yankees, cool. Mets, fine. Padres, no.
Oh, Annie came.
Aw, Annie's coming to hang out, guys. Annie is our dog.
Yeah, she's so cute.
Sweet, sweet Annie.
I know. So then we see him and then he's working the booth across from the gallery.
Say hi.
Oh. And then it was so funny because we were like commenting on his hat. And then he took it off and I was like, oh my gosh, look at you. Your face is glowing. And they're like, oh my gosh. It was so good.
We had a good area because we were across from them and they were great and we were making friends with them. And then the people next to us were working at a booth with a hydration drink that also was delicious. So we kept like, hey, let's get a little of that.
Yeah.
Try all the samples, all the flavors.
You knew all the flavors at the end.
I know.
The guy, I think his name was Johnny. He was so impressed.
Nice. Well, we had one energy drink and I don't usually drink them and it was making me really shaky. So the hydration drink was really helpful.
Yeah. You know, there's just we didn't go out the first night, but the rest of the team, you know, they went out the second night and it was so effortless. We all like kind of went and had right down the street from our hotel and then people walked by and they're like, oh, you're there. And then they came in and sat with us and then everyone met at this other place and then we just went over there.
We mic'd up the bar owner.
So we walk in and then the bar, I was like, okay, I'm so sorry, sir, but can you put on the Dodger game?
And he did.
He did. Well, at first he couldn't find it. I kind of explained to him what we were doing there and all the things. And then he found it and he came over. And so then we mic'd him up and we asked, like, where were you with the Freddie Freeman?
And he was there.
Yeah.
Hosting people at his bar to watch the World Series.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, for us, when people ask us, it's like this moment of excitement to share where we were. And for them, it's like almost, you know, just a moment where they're having to remember and take it back to not the best memory for them.
Totally. I know.
But
it was fun.
He was a good sport. And Harold Reynolds walked into the bar. That was hilarious. Then all of a sudden,
following Oral
came and met us and was hanging out with us.
This guy looked at me. He's like, who are you girls? Because I'm sure when we tell people, like, you know, like when they want to know more about our story and then who we're kind of connected with and all the things, people are probably like, okay. And then for him to walk in, and this was a newer bar, he said. And so he was blown away. Hey, Annie, you're like Adam back there.
I know. Last episode, we had Adam eating Airheads, trying to be quiet. And now we have Annie eating something.
Which, so cute, guys. Go ahead.
Annie's eating Airheads.
She better not be.
We walked into Melissa's mom's, and she had all the candy, just the one that we talked about last episode.
Everything we talked about.
Yeah.
Brownies, a little note.
Yeah.
Dodger napkins.
I said I liked caramel, and she got me chocolate and caramel. It was just, sour worms.
Very sweet and very thoughtful, Mom.
Thoughtful. Thanks, Cindy.
And a note that said, I listened to all episodes. But back to the bar. That was really fun. And we had a great night. Going into day 2, that was the craziest day of the weekend. Really crowded. But it really was a very well-run event.
It really was.
And I know that like we're so lucky to be working with Oral Hershiser and to hang out with him. We all went to see Hamilton the last night, which was amazing and something that I've been wanting to do now, you know, since Hamilton came out. And it's, you know, we have such a great relationship with him, but then we get to see the other side of it where we're watching him in work mode and people be in awe of him and the look on their faces after he's giving them, you know, a few minutes of his time to chat and shake hands and take a picture. And that never gets old too.
It really doesn't get old. Like, we are very, very blessed to have began a very personal relationship, and he's so mentorship and the things he tells us, and it's so great. But yeah, watching him float around that room and, you know, teaching kids, it's like they really are in awe. Like, they made a dream come true. And I heard it through the whole weekend, how impressed everybody was with him and how nice he was. And I think that's an amazing quality.
It is. And definitely that is his reputation to everybody. And to even see one of our teammates took a video of him giving a kid a pitching lesson. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
This kid gets to remember that and got a pitching lesson from a Cy Young winner.
I know.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it really was. And we definitely told him because I was impressed. I was in awe, honestly.
We had so much fun walking around, just meeting people. We're getting pulled here, pulled there. We're doing the pitching lessons. We're doing the drone video. We even did our own WWE
walkout.
And I don't think we've posted this yet, but we did all the Dodger celebration dances.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was a little cringy, but we had to just go for it.
I was so crabby that day. I was like, okay, I wanted to put I kept saying I want just big baggy sweatpants. But you're like, come on, let's go do it. I'm like, okay, I can't be the party pooper. And then we get in line and she's like, this is actually kind of cringy. I don't think we should do it. I'm like, we're in it now, girl.
There's little kids doing it and there we are.
I know, kids are like getting down on one knee and then like, but we figured the Dodger celebrations was fun and easy. And yeah, that was fun. They had Cold as Balls.
Oh yeah,
live
Kevin Hart's show,
tapings.
which Mookie and Kike have done. They had Tom Brady the first day. Guys,
Yeah.
Tom Brady shirtless doing the Cold as Balls show. That was a sight to see.
Yeah, after that, I was like, everyone put down tomatoes. Every single person put down a tomato.
But even just watching him float around and, you know, whenever you see like a crowd swarming someone and you hear like such commotion and you're wondering who it is and, oh, Tom Brady. Oh, like.
Totally. I know.
Who was it? Kevin Durant. We found out that he got traded while he was at Fanatics Fest, like in an interview.
Yeah. People were saying they thought that was set up.
Really?
Like he had already known, but it was like.
He definitely already knew, but to have the news break while he's in an interview, I don't know if he wanted that or not.
I mean, at that point, I'd be like, sure, let's do it in front of
Why
the world.
not?
Yeah, why not? Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, there were so many people there to where I am still looking at videos being posted from Fanatics, and I'm like, they were there?
I know. I
mean,
love Dwayne
Sierra-
Wade, and I didn't get to get a glimpse of him. Yeah, we saw
Sierra and Russell Wilson. I mean, Jordan Childs was there, and she was one of the panel speakers at the women event at Dodger Stadium. So I was kind of bummed because that would have been a great, like, we saw you at the women's event.
I know. Jay-Z was there. Very cool.
Yeah.
I will say that they were lacking female athletes.
I was saying that the whole weekend. Like, where is the Serena Williams? Like, where are, like, I get WNBA is so big right now, and I love that. And I get they're in season. So, but what about the players? There's, like, Lisa Leslie and, like, all these, pivotal women in sports. It was cool. Then, okay, I said gymnast, but Jordan was there, which was cool. But I think that there is still such a big opportunity for what that is. I mean,
if anyone wants to hear our ideas, we're available.
Yeah, and if you need anyone to interview, every single one of them, we're available for that too. Yeah, no, but I think within the year, I have a feeling next year it's going to be heavy with so much of that, which
I hope so.
Me too.
Because yes, there were a lot of little boys and men at this event, but there were also a lot of women and little girls who love sports just as much as the guys do.
Totally.
And that was really cool to see.
Yeah.
Even like that last day, the girl that came up and she was with her mom and we did a little interview with her. Oh, yeah. And just to see people start something like the twin, what do they call themselves? Twinstripe?
The pinstripe. Oh, they are the
Pinstripe twins?
Pinstripe twins.
Yeah, just to see people going for it.
Yeah, there's That was really cute. The little kids getting into it and interviewing and all that.
With the outfits that their mom made them.
But the little girl was cute too.
I know.
Yeah. It was fun. It was very fun. It was I can't wait to see what we're doing there next year.
I know. We're definitely getting into that green room.
Yeah. Yeah.
We accepted that we couldn't really like talk our way or charm our way or anything like that into it. But yeah, something to work towards.
Totally. And it's like, it was not even disheartening in the sense of like crush the spirit, because like we still have a lot to grow and a lot to do and a lot to learn and a lot like we get that. And so we have no problem just pivoting and figuring out what it is that, uh-oh.
Oh boy. Adam.
He just got his airheads.
Leave him alone.
I'm hungry. It takes a lot of work setting all this up.
Oh my.
How long have we been talking? You can't wait a little while?
46 minutes. I don't know how long you're going to be talking
We've
for.
talked for 46 minutes? Man, this has gone by fast.
We don't got our clock.
I know. Usually we have a little clock that counts us down.
So Muncy hit his 200th Dodger career home run.
Muncy, you are amazing. I love when things happen like that. You don't just hit a home run for your 200th with the Dodgers. You hit a grand slam. And hey, you know what? You hit your 201st that same game too, which was crazy because he did that for his, overall baseball career. 200th hit the 201 in the same game. So that was really fitting. I sent Kelly a text and said that we were jumping up and down.
Oh, I'm so glad. I meant to
cheering for him.
ask if you did. That's good.
Yeah.
She was probably so happy.
I'm so happy for him to watch just the roar coming out from him when that moment happened.
Yeah. I know. And I
mean, now
there's always,
we're friends with
I
him.
know. And it's like, I get it. Like we're fans and we have been, but having her on the podcast and then being able to go to their event and being able to talk to them and like just the genuine through their eyes of who they are as just people, it's like, it's just hard not to feel that connection and just root even harder.
But Muncy is also one of the players that has been on the team the longest and who we've watched for the longest. And then to, you meet people that you've been watching for so long, you feel like you know them. And for them to give you a reaction that exceeds what you thought is really, really amazing. So our experience with Muncy made me even happier for him.
Yeah.
And my mom too, right?
What?
You love Muncy?
He's my fave.
Aw.
We did tell him that, Mom. We told Muncy that he's your favorite.
We didn't tell him that he was in cellos. I think
No,
she feels so different about him now.
She's Team Muncy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm so glad you texted Kelly.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
And then, what else?
Shohei's second pitching outing. Got his first strikeout with the Dodgers. And then ended the game with a home run. Very, very Shohei.
He is such a unicorn. You get nervous about the pitching thing and all the things, but honestly, I really do believe that confidence is just, there's a different spark. And I can't help but, I saw this thing and it was like, just let him play. Just let him play and watch him play. That just to me, it just like pumps me up.
Yeah. I was thinking about how pitchers normally have 5 days off. He doesn't get any days off. So he goes just, he's going through it without having that extra, and that definitely can impact his hitting. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, he only went for a little bit longer than the first outing. Mm-hmm. So he's easing his way in, and I feel like they're being very tight-lipped about what the plan is for him. Mm-hmm. But you're right. He's a unicorn, and he'll get it done.
Yeah, we just really need his bat to stay alive. Mm-hmm. We're already... Well, Mookie's actually been pretty consistent. This was the first time in, news and people who talk Dodgers and stuff that I've heard people kind of like, okay, well, actually, I think we need Mookie to kind of step it up at the plate a little more. And people are saying how he should go back to right field. Okay, but the argument is that, Conforto isn't really doing well. And do we shift, and do we have the options to play around with what that is? and poor Conforto, I get it. People are kind of starting to be like, now I think it's time to like, but then he made a diving catch the other day that saved, them taking the lead. And I love to see that even through the mist of people kind of, talking about it a little more. He's keeping a head on his shoulders and still working hard. And that's like all we can ask from the guys, It's like, it's easy to be like, but it doesn't help them. It does not help them to not believe in them. And they believe in themselves so much that.
I know.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I was thinking about something I heard from Mookie, because everyone is talking about that. That's always the conversation. He needs to go back to right field every time he makes an error. And I don't agree with that. I think I've questioned him moving from right field because he's won the Gold Glove there multiple times and he's so good in that position. But I also have heard from him that he loves this challenge and it's making him fall in love with baseball again and how hard he likes to work. But he also has said that he knows it has affected his hitting, because he has to go to the field earlier than he ever has. He's putting in so many more hours, and it is affecting his hitting.
Yeah. I'm not so much wanting him to go back because I don't think he's performing well at short. It's more of like the batting aspect, but I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I was just commenting on it because I'm starting to hear other people comment on it, and we've already kind of thought about it, but like I really am not worried about it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just like I'm a little tired of it, because if this is what Mookie wants, this is what is going to happen. And yes, I know if the team wants him to move, he will, because that's the type of player he is. But he's not, and nothing's changing. So I'm just kind of tired of hearing people complain about it. He's getting better and better each time. Everybody makes errors. But with a player like Mookie, because he made this shift and no one does that, like usually it's people moving from the infield to the outfield, like as they get older in their career. So yeah, I'm kind of just over it. And let's cheer him on and root him on in this position instead of just complaining, because that's not doing any good for him.
One fun thing we got at Fanatics got to see is the All-Star uniforms they're going to use.
Oh yeah. What did you think about them?
Last year's were so ugly.
Well, we heard that they're going back to each player is wearing their team's uniform, but that is what they're going to be wearing for like the home run derby and stuff like that, right?
Well, is it because they're going to just get the logo? So everyone's going to not wear like, I don't know, national or American. They'll just wear that jersey with the logo. That's what I took.
Do you know, Adam?
What's the question specifically?
The All-Star jerseys?
I think they're going back to they're wearing their team jersey.
I know, but did you see the NL and the AL jerseys in front of the MLB area of Fanatics Fest?
No.
Oh, well, they had them there. So I was wondering, because I did hear what you just said, they're going back to wearing their team uniforms, what they're using these for, because they were highlighted at the event.
Home run derby.
Oh, okay, so that's exactly what I just said.
Great. You were right.
Are you sleeping?
What was that?
You were right. I'm too preoccupied on the airheads.
Did it made you one?
Yeah.
If you want to bring us over a brownie, I wouldn't be mad. That's me doing the asking you for a beer on the plane. I'll take a brownie.
I'll take a beer.
You can have them after you're done recording. I can't be on camera.
Oh, okay. It'll just be your back. What? The sun shifted?
No.
Well, it kind of just more made me excited for the All-Star game. And so many of our boys are going to be in it.
Guys, vote, vote, vote.
And I love that they are all posting to get Pages in.
He deserves it. Who's hotter than, actually, remember our great conversation with one of the Mets fans who couldn't get over how good Andy Pages has been?
Yeah.
He was another player that a lot of fans there were talking about. And I really appreciated that because, sometimes players like him get overlooked, especially on our team of
not on this pod.
Studded all-stars.
He has been my player of the week.
Yeah, you've really been cheering him on and rooting him on.
He's just so fun to watch. And he steps up and he does it effortlessly. And it's like, there's so much heart. I don't know. It's just, I love when people care and it comes together for them. And yeah, I just love Pages.
Speaking of player of the week, should we do our player of the week?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. No?
Do you?
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Easy. Done and done this week.
Okay.
Do you need a minute?
Yeah. I'm just thinking of everybody.
How about we just
Who
find out?
grabbed me this week?
I'm just looking over at our notes over here. I wrote Tatis dramatic. When you watch it in slow-mo and he's like, he gets hit and he's like doing this whole spin.
I want to know. Oh my gosh.
I
It looked
know.
like low key, dude.
Okay, player of the week. Ready?
Okay.
Are you?
I mean, there's the obvious, but I chose him last week.
I forget who. Oh. Ooh, I touched the mic. Sorry. Okay, we'll just see who comes out of your mouth.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Player of the week. 1, 2, 3. Muncy.
Muncy.
Nice.
I mean, come on. You hit a grand slam on your 200th. And then you come back and you hit another home run and you did the same thing on the other act. Like, come on.
7 RBIs in that game. Yeah, he's been on fire lately and couldn't be happier for him.
It was so fun to see Dustin May.
Go Kelly's husband.
Yeah. It was so fun to see Dustin May get fired up. I forgot about him. Been talking a lot about Kersh, Ohtani, and he's been the guy who's showed up for us and has pushed through innings and has gotten us
Totally.
the consistency that we've needed from a pitcher. And
He hasn't been perfect, but he's been giving us length. And when we hear people complaining about, Kike going in for the 5th time this season, we need those pitchers like Dustin May as much as possible. Actually, how do you feel about them putting Kike in again? In that game where we won 13, I think it ended up being 13-5, but going into that outing for Kike, it was like 13-2.
was that the game we're at? That mattered out, or they did it one more time?
No, that was one of the games against the Nationals.
You can't do something and at some point, the percentage of it being perfect every time. I mean, we're not doing it because it's just fun. Like it
but it
saves
used
an
to be
arm.
fun.
Well, but it's saving an arm, and that's what's stressful about it. Like when I would have to get put in to pitch, and you're not doing well, and they're roping you, and you can't get it out, and it's so stressful because that's not your normal comfort zone, and
I know.
you're not the person who's there to go and just throw this heat, and so everyone can calm down because
Well,
it's not easy on Kike either.
I know, but for something like that, and I was thinking of when that happens, when a position player gets put into pitch, it's really fun to watch and people get really excited. But when we're doing it for the 5th time, it really loses that excitement. And we're kind of just like, okay, Kike again?
But what would be the other option for them? I don't think.
But in a situation like that, we're up 13-2. They are trying to save an arm. I understand that. But Kike ends up, giving up a bunch of runs, and they end up bringing Vesia in to close the game. So it didn't work out how they wanted. And now
you're just
I'm kind
messing
of
with
tired
Kike's
of it.
mind. You're kinda-
And I don't think it's fun for him anymore because he doesn't want to give up all those runs for his team. And
it's not fun.
so, I'd be okay with not seeing Kike in the game for a long time.
Pitching?
Yeah, pitching. Of course I want to see him in the game.
I don't know. You said that. It was so mean. Okay,
What?
Adam. Just kidding. What? Well, what did she say? She pulled a Jackie?
No, I don't want to see him in the game at all.
Oh,
That's
I didn't
exactly
say
how
that.
it sounded. That's exactly how it sounded.
I always want to see him in the game, but I don't want to see him pitching because it doesn't look like he's having fun anymore. It's too much pressure.
Yeah. Well, Doc, we trust you.
I know we told you we trust you, and we do.
Look how cute Annie is drinking her water. She's so cute.
Well, we are in New Jersey, as we said, and tomorrow we are interviewing some of my family members.
It's going to be so fun.
You got to meet one of my cousins last night, Katie, and my
her
best friend.
Jill. It's so, honestly, I'm really excited to hear from them. I want to know how they feel, what it's like to watch you do what you're doing. And it's like this mesh between a team they hate and their family member they love.
Yeah,
and being so proud, and it's just fun.
It's interesting because there's so many reasons why I started the podcast, but I've always loved baseball, and that comes from my dad and just how much my family loves baseball. But like in moving to LA, it really does seem like this was meant for me. And I can't talk about the Dodgers really with my family because they hate them. So now I have this amazing Dodger community to talk about the Dodgers with. And it just is really fitting, and I couldn't love it anymore.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm excited to just meet everybody. I mean, I feel like I already know your mom. It's been like, I had a dream before I came here that like I just hugged her. We just saw each other and just hugged. And it's like, it's been really fun. I mean, it's been such a fun journey with you. And it's just so fun to have this next step because it's what matters the most. Totally. Yeah.
This is, we are here, and this is the heart of everything I do. Everything behind what I do is for my family, who I love and just want to make proud. And tonight we're going to my Uncle John's restaurant in Ridgewood. It's called Piccolo, an Italian restaurant with really good food. So we'll have lots to share about it tomorrow when we record, but that'll be really fun for us tonight.
Yeah, that'll be so fun. I mean, I started off this morning with a delicious bagel, and I'm going to end the night with some delicious pasta. I don't know. I want it all. I don't even know which one to order. Maybe we'll do family style so we could try it all.
Oh, yeah, we definitely will.
Okay.
Any last notes from you, Adam? Are you enjoying New Jersey?
Really pretty.
You better, Adam.
I am, Cindy.
Well, that's great.
And our Dodgers play at 8:40 today, so 8:40 p.m.
sooner.
East Coast time. So I think we'll be able to catch that one.
I hope. Golly.
All right, guys, go Dodgers.
And now to the episode. Just kidding.
Go Dodgers.